La Riviera is moving on to the Navy property, and the Drillmore booster site, they've been working through that, which, you know, will continue on through the summer, but basically where they're at with that is they've moved the generator, they've put in all of the underground piping for the pumps, and poured the foundation for the building.
Yeah.
So I think on Monday they have some more concrete being poured there, so
Yes.
we'll just continue to work through that. So yeah, construction's kind of flying along, to be honest. I don't know if anyone has questions on overall progress. I'd be happy to dig a little bit deeper if needed.
Anybody? I know after our initial start, it was, thanks for being persevering through that difficulty we had and getting everybody on track. It looks like we're moving forward as we want, and it all looks good. Thank you, Ben. Yeah.
And Ben, I do have a question for you. Other than the generator, is there any other parts you know of that they're waiting on that could slow them down?
Generator and ATS, you know, for sure, those
Right.
are obvious ones. The insertion valves were a little bit behind. Those are important because there's no way to close off your old water line without doing an insertion valve. And the reason for that is there's no existing valves, and two, the entire system is live while we're doing construction.
Right.
But that really it isn't too much of an issue because we can keep it active until those show up.
Mhm.
It would have been an issue if we wouldn't have been able to exercise the tank valves.
Yes.
So we got kind of dodged the bullet there.
Yeah.
I guess that maybe is one of our lucky breaks.
Mhm.
But, you know, also that's really a contractor item to coordinate as well in terms of scheduling, right? Those are the main ones, Bob. I mean, things like valves and whatnot are definitely, they do have some lead times, but I think a lot of those materials have been procured for all the water line
Okay.
work. You know, it seems like the booster station stuff's moving along as well. One thing we could ask on that note is just the other electrical equipment in the booster station. I know that that'll be installed last, like later on once the building's in place, but once again, you know, the booster actually won't be active until next year, so it probably won't affect things much.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Well, I've got a question for Ben. You know,
Yeah,
this is Ted. I see, as far as the pressure test, we've, checked that 12-inch line that comes from the tower to the junction and then down. Does that, have we got the 12-inch line down to Hudson's Bay Road yet?
that's what they're working on right now, so they're coming through the Navy property down to Hudson Bay Road.
Okay, and you mentioned that the pressure test was all the way to well 8, but we didn't replace the lines from well 8, did we?
No.
No, we didn't, those were replaced recently, as I recall, and we pressure tested from the well 7-8 junction at the entrance to Farragut State Park, all the way to the tank, with the
Yeah.
sectional line, so, didn't do anything with the well 8 line itself.
That line is untouched.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Yes.
well 8 to
Yes.
the junction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct, yeah. I think otherwise, La Riviera did submit their March, pay application, we reviewed that, and looks good. So that should be ready for signature, just pass that along to us once it's been signed, and we'll get that over to DEQ. And we're still waiting on final pricing for the change order associated with the generator move. We went through another round of negotiations and haven't quite heard back on that, so.
So is well 8 on, it's not on mine now, but it's in the progressive it's into the new lines, right?
Everything is still actually pumping into the old lines. And until, there's a couple things sequencing wise that need to happen. So once they have the Navy lines, finished, then they can pressure test the Navy lines. And then when they shut down the well to do the well rehab, they can make the well 8 tie-in, and at that same time they'll hot tap the Navy tie-in, and we'll be able to turn on the wells and everything will be swapped into the new system. Put in the insertion valves on the existing lines, close those off, drain them, and then everything's on the new water lines. So there's just a few more steps, I guess, Ted, before everything's switched on to the new main line, but it is in the ground, pressure tested, ready for it to be connected. Back teeth testing is happening, etc. So we're close, but it'll probably be another month or two before it is actually swapped on to the new line.
Okay.
Anybody else?